Hello there guys, and thank you so much again for joining me for another video today. And in this video, I'm going to discuss the cutting process for sewing your t-shirt and also putting that one-of-a-kind t-shirt together with the sewing machine that I'm going to be using. I'm in a bit of a rush here today. I'm supposed to be heading to LA and then back here to Vegas for Cinco de Mayo. So I'm trying to make this video really quick, guys, so follow along, and here we go with the cutting process. So we have all our pattern pieces laid out. As we mentioned before, you want to take account the width of your fabric, the length of your fabric, and how much yardage of the fabric you would need. So I have everything pinned down and ready to get cut out. Everything is mostly cut on the fold. The ribbing pieces are cut on the fold. The t-shirt back piece is cut on the fold. The front piece here is cut on the fold, and then the sleeve is just cut out regularly, 2 pieces. So here we go. About to cut it out now, guys. Alright, so start cutting our pieces out as we have everything pinned down. Make sure I got that a little bit better for you guys to see. Okay. So I'm going to start cutting out my pieces that are on the fold. So I'll start with my front piece here. And we are going to include the ribbing piece, so we don't necessarily need, you don't really need to keep this extra fabric here. I meant to cut it out, but I'll just cut it out with the material. Just like so, and I'll just start cutting out right along the seam. And you want to just try to keep your fabric flat while you're cutting, and you want to make really big loose cuts. You don't want to, well, knit fabric, stretchy fabric moves a lot, so certain times you want to make little choppy cuts, but for the most part you want to make sharp, clean cuts. You want to just keep going along the edge. And when you pin your pieces down, you want your pins to face inward when you pin your pattern pieces to the fabric. Okay, so I have that. I'm just going to continue around. I have to be a little bit gentle because knit fabric moves a lot. It doesn't like to behave, so you gotta really be gentle with it. And just keep going around. Just a little quicker here for you guys. Continue along down the end. Just keep your fabric flat. If you have any questions or concern as I'm going through the project here, and if you let me know if you tried these steps to creating your own t-shirt, and let me know how they're working out for you. I would love to hear some of you guys process. If you're a fashion student, if you're or simply just a crafty person, like trying new things and love working with your hands, I would love to hear about your projects. If you ever tried something like this before, I would like to learn, and what techniques and tips that you have that you can share with me. I'll really be open to those things. So please don't hesitate to share anything in the comments section below. This is a community of artists. This platform is designed for a community of artists, designers, all type of creative sorts, and I consider everyone a fashion connoisseur in some shape or form, because we are created by nature to be creative and to do things outside the box. There's always a way around everything. And simply, what we need is right there in front of us. And that's what this channel is about. Simply using what you already have. I have a lot of other projects and things I want to share with you in some upcoming videos. If there's anything you think I can do to make my videos better, or to make them more clarifying and more exciting, please feel free to share with me what you know. I will greatly appreciate it. My time is very limited. I'm always bouncing around doing something, and just want to be stable now. Just focus more on my craft and share with you guys what I know. And that's my goal. You know, oftentimes we're taught to go to school to get good grades and get a degree. It's something that we pretty much already have within us. We just go to school just to hone those skills and to get advice from others, and we spend so much money when it's not really necessary. We already have the creativity and skill set within us. And we find ourselves just going to school and getting in debt over something so simple. So here's my ribbing pieces. Cut these out. This is a very quick project. It doesn't take a lot of time at all. The quickest way to go about it is to just grab a t-shirt that you love or that you wear often. Just make a pattern from it. Then if you have some fabric sitting around, or you want to try something new, but like I said, go for a fabric that's compatible for the t-shirt design or the season that you want to wear this t-shirt in. Just cut it out. Know how to cut it out, how many pieces you need, and how much fabric. And then the last step, you decide how you're going to put it together. Got the sewing machine. I actually made a t-shirt in my undergraduate studies. It was pretty fun, but my sewing was really terrible back then, so I wasn't too satisfied with the outcome of the t-shirt, but the patterning and the process, you can tell, was good, but the construction, my sewing technique, and my ability to be precise with the stitching was really off. And I believe I've come a long way since then with my sewing. So everything is a learning lesson. It takes a lot of practice. You have to really get comfortable with your machine and just have confidence in your ability to create something. So we got this one, cutting, and we got one more. If there's any projects that you guys worked on or that you would love to share, we'll quite appreciate it. I would love to follow some of your videos and your crafty techniques. And this is our last piece. We can head over to the machine. Alright, so we have all our pieces cut out, our ribbing, our front and backs. So now, oh, actually, I forgot one. Let's cut out the sleeve, and then we'll be on our way. You sleeve, where did you come from? Sleeve just stuck up on me. So our very last piece. So it's a total of 7 pieces, but only 4 are optional. The other 3 you really don't need, but I'm going to use them this time. You can be as creative as you want with your t-shirt. You can use different colors, but in this one I'm going to use the same material as the shell of the fabric, as my ribbing. As I mentioned before, you can use different color fabric for your ribbing pieces, but I'm going to use the same color material. You can use the same material as the t-shirt material. I would use a different color so you guys can see it a little bit better, but I think you can see it with just the heather gray material. Almost there. Almost cut our last side up. All right, so we have all our pieces cut out. You just Another thing you may want to do is you might want to notch certain pieces. So if you have your sleeve piece here, you want to make a notch, which is called, like, you want to clip into the pattern and the material. Make a little clip so you have an indentation where the cap, the top part of the sleeve is. And you can also do those for like the seams. So So you'll make a clip like right here where the seam line matches up with this seam line, and you'll just make a clip. But that's just a trick for later. I can teach you later on in a different video. So you have your front. You have your front. You have your back. You have your sleeve. And last but not least, you have your ribbing pieces. So we'll take you over to the machine. Okay, so here guys is my machine, and the machine that I'm using today here is the Brother GX37 basic home machine. Has quite a bit of simple features on it. So here you have your tension dial, your width dial, and then your length dial, and then here you have your plan of different stitches. You have your number 2 straight stitch, your 1 is your buttonhole stitch, and then you have your superimposed stitches down here, all different types of stitches you can use. So just kind of like play with the different stitches. This here is your stitch dial, your thread, spool, and the way you want it, you thread it through and things like that. But this video is not pretty much going to be about how to thread the machine. I'm just going to go over like basic things on how to get your machine set up, and I'll talk about like I mentioned, the stitch length, tension, width, and the length of the machine. I'm using the jersey knit material here. This material is very stretchy, so we have to be considerate what type of stitches we want to use. And I'm going to show you how to line up the fabric with the presser foot underneath there, and how to use your back tack tool to reinforce the stitch. So we'll get started now. So the very first piece you want to use, the very first piece you want to sew together when you start the construction is you want to start sewing your front pieces. I usually like to start with the front pieces. So front piece here, you can make a little clip. Take our pins out. We're going to start sewing in our sleeve to our, we're going to sew the sleeve into our front and back. Well, actually, we're going to start with, we're going to sew the front and back pieces together first. There's a specific order you want to do everything. So we're going to sew our side seams in first. Well, actually, yes, we're going to sew our shoulder seams in first, and then we're going to sew, excuse me, we're going to sew our side seams in next. So we have our front piece. We're going to just lay it out. pins out for my pattern. Pattern pieces out. Just our front and back. So we want to lay our front and back pattern pieces on top of one another. So here's our front here. And here's the back. Right sides together. And you want to match up your shoulder seams. So here are your shoulder seams. You want to match these up. Right there along the edge. You want to match your shoulder seams up right here along the edge. And we're going to overlock these, so we're not going to use any straight stitching. We're just going to use a regular superimposed or overlock stitch to attach these two together. And this is at a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance for the shoulders. And you don't necessarily have to pin them together if you don't like to. See that? So I'm using stitch number, here I follow my manual. I'm using stitch number 23. Where is it at? 23 here. It's a superimposed stitch. And I have my my stitch length set at on the superimposed stitch. I can also set it at 2.5. I have my, so I have this stitch here at 23. My stitch style. I can also set it at, I have it set at the superimposed stitch. I can set it at 2.5. And I have my stitch length set at between the 3 and the 5. So I have mine set at 4. So that's the pattern I'm following. If you have any questions about stitching and things like that, if you have the same type of machine, feel free to comment and let me know how it works out for you. So you want to line your edges up, and you want the fabric to lie just inside the center of the presser foot, right where the needle is. And you want to just bring the needle down. Put it right beside the fabric. And just press on your presser foot. You just want to continue going down. Keep your edges lined up. Now you can also use paper as well to stabilize the knit because it moves a lot. Keep it in place, and then you can just remove the paper afterwards. My material's kind of getting jammed in there. Take it out. Edit.